Good afternoon, friends. Today we will discuss Unit 11 of International Business, that is International Finance. Before discussing International Finance, let me first tell you what are the objectives of my class today. After discussing this class, you will be able to know what is global financial system. You can know the basis of international monetary system. You can know the concept of balance of payment. You can know what is exchange rate risk management strategy and what factors affect it. And you can know the financing of foreign trade. You can know the terms of payment in international trade. So we will discuss all these things. So what will be the structure of our discussion? First, I will give an introduction to international finance. Then we will discuss regarding global financial system. Next, we will discuss international monetary system. Next, we will discuss international flow of funds. Next, we will discuss foreign exchange market. Next, we will discuss exchange rate risk management strategy. We will discuss what is foreign investment. What are the terms of payments? Then we will summarize our discussion. We will discuss some keywords. We will have some self-assessment question and a reference for further readings. Friends, international finance is a branch of economics. Traditionally, international finance is a branch of economics which studies the following. Which studies dynamics of exchange rate. It's a branch of economics which studies foreign investment and how these affect international trade. It's a branch of economics which studies the international projects, international investments, international capital outflows, international trades, international trade deficits, etc. It also studies forward contracts, option contract, currency swap contract, etc. It also deals with different international trade theory. So I can tell that international finance is a branch of international economics. It is a separate branch of international economics which deals with exchange rate, foreign investment, factors affecting international trade, how to appraise international project, what is international investment, what is international capital outflows, what is international forward contracts, futures contracts, option contract, currency swap contract, how they are used, and it also studies regarding international trade theory. Hence, international finance is a branch of international economics. Next, we will discuss global financial system. What does it mean? What does global finance means? Global finance. Global finance is a financial system which consists of regulators and various financial institutions that conduct their business on international level. Hence, in global finance, we will discuss regarding different financial institutions. What are the most important financial institutions which are studied under global finance? We will read regarding three important institutions. One is International Monetary Fund, IMF. Another is World Bank. Another is WTO, Asian Development Banks, etc. So we will focus our discussion on three important international financial institutions. What are the three important financial institutions? One is IMF, another is World Bank, another is WTO. What is IMF? What does it do? What is its function? We'll discuss what is World Bank, what is its function, and we'll discuss regarding WTO, World Trade Organization. First, we'll discuss what is IMF. Now, IMF is an international, IMF denotes International Monetary Funds. It's a fund which is created for encouraging international trade and ensuring financial stability. There are many members in this fund. Many countries have taken membership of IMF, and IMF helped these member countries or member state to address their disequilibrium of balance of payment. That means if a member country faces BOP crisis, balance of payment crisis, it does not have sufficient forex reserve to do international business. In that case, IMF will help that member country by granting loans. So IMF grant long-term loans for financial stability of the countries so that there will be no sovereign default crisis. What is sovereign default crisis? What is sovereign default? When a country itself does not fulfill its foreign obligations, that is known as sovereign default. So, in order to avoid a sovereign default crisis, IMF provide loans. So, the loans are provided to only the member countries which are facing BOP crisis, which are facing disequilibrium in their BOP statement, in their balance of payment statement. So, this is International Monetary Fund. Next one is World Bank. What is World Bank? IMF and World Bank are two institutions which were created during Bretton Woods Conference. In Bretton Woods Conference after World War II, there was a conference at New Hampshire in the Hotel Bretton Woods that is known as Bretton Woods Conference. It is attended by 44 countries and they have decided how to restore the world which is devastated by World War II. And for this, they were trying to create some international institutions or multilateral institutions. Among them, two are most important. One is IMF, another is World Bank. So what is World Bank? World Bank is also a bank. It also provides funds to the member countries, to the members. But it provides funds for developmental projects. So it is an institution which aim for funding for development projects, for construction of road, bridge, dam, school, colleges, all sort of infrastructure, net, internet connectivity. It provides loans. World Bank provide loans for developmental projects, and World Bank offer most of its loans to the developing nations so that they can be achieve development and become a developed nation. So World Bank provide loans only for developmental projects, but IMF provide loans to those countries which are facing balance of payment crisis or BOP crisis. Third institution is WTO. So what is WTO? WTO means World Trade Organization. It is an organization which is created to frame rules, regulations for international trades. So WTO frame policy for orderly conduct of international trade. So it frame policy for conducting international trade. WTO frame policy for conducting international trade. So WTO has certain agreements and the member countries sign to those agreements. Most of the important agreements signed under WTO is one is GATT agreement. GATT agreement is for goods. The international trade of goods are conducted as per GATT agreements. Another is GATS agreement. International trade of services is done for under the rules framed under GATS agreement. There is another agreement that is known as TRIPS agreements. What is TRIPS? International trade of intellectual property rights like trademark, goodwill, patent, copyright, trademark, integrated circuits, GI, trade secrets, are conducted under TRIPS agreements. GATT agreement, GATS agreement, TRIPS agreements, another is TRIMS agreements. For international investments, the rules regulations are framed under TRIMS agreements. So these are four important agreements formed under WTO forum. WTO has more than 60 agreements made under WTO forum. Out of these four are important agreements. So WTO frame rules, regulations for international trade for member countries. So three important institutions we have discussed. One is IMF. It provides loans to member countries which are facing BOP crisis. Second institution we have studied, that is regarding World Bank. It provides loans for developmental projects to member countries. And third important institution we have studied, that is WTO. WTO frame rules, regulations for orderly conduct of international business. Next, we will discuss regarding international monetary system. First, we will discuss what is international monetary system. Then, what are the developments made under international monetary system? International monetary system is primarily a set of policies, institutions, practices, regulations, and mechanisms that determine the rate at which one currency is exchanged for another currency. So it's regarding deciding at what rate one country's currency will be exchanged for another country's currency. Friends, from 1252, where first gold coin was minted in Western Europe till date, there are many changes in international monetary system. We will study those from 1821. In 1821 to 1914, we follow a standard for determining the exchange rate between currencies of the world, that is known as classical gold standard. What is classical gold standard? And the classical gold standard was interrupted at World War I. And during World War, we have interwar period 1919 to 1939, how exchange rate was determined. Then we have discussed the Bretton Woods era. It lasts from 1944 to 1971, how exchange rate is determined. And then post Bretton Woods era, we follow in separate system for determining exchange rate. We will study the evolution of exchange rate during the world, how the rate of exchange is determined, that is coming under the purview of international monetary system. First, we will discuss classic gold standard. Classic gold standard was prevalent during 1821 to 1914. During this period, the country's currencies were made of gold, and the exchange rate was determined on the basis of gold content in their currency. That is known as classic gold standard. It lasted around about 100 years. Most of the nations followed this gold standard. But the most important demerits of this gold standard is the country involves a high cost in locating gold, mining gold, and minting gold. So this classic gold standard was prevalent for hundreds of years of international trade from 1821 to 1914. Classic gold standard was followed in determining the exchange rate between currencies, where exchange rate is determined on the basis of gold or silver content in their currencies. Next, this particular gold standard was hampered during interwar period, during World War I, this gold standard broke, because during that period international trade was diminished. No country was believing anyone. Any country, every country want to be self-sufficient. So what happens during the war from 1925 to 1931? Again, Britain tried to restore the gold standard. Only two countries were following gold standard, US and England, because they were doing trade under gold standard. Okay, so but in 1931 England departed from gold standard, so the gold standard comes to an end in 1931. Again World War II came. After World War II, during World War II there were very few international trade. Once World War II over, 1944, during Bretton Woods conference, which was held at New Hampshire, the 44 countries participated and they decided to set up the world again. They decided how to restore the world, how to restore the international trade. For this, during Bretton Woods conference, they have decided they will set up two institutions. One is IMF, another is World Bank. Again, they have decided to follow one type of exchange rate, which is known as fixed exchange rate or pegged exchange rate for their currency, and they will fix the exchange rate in relation to dollar or in relation to gold. So there is a fixed exchange rate regime during Bretton Woods conference, and this particular regime, fixed exchange rate, was followed from 1944 to 1971. In this case, every country fixed the exchange rate in relation to dollar or in relation to gold, and 1 ounce of gold was equivalent to $35. US gives guarantee that anybody who will give him $35, he will give him 1 ounce of gold. So most of the countries were retaining gold reserve or dollar reserve, and they are following a fixed exchange rate which was maintained by official intervention in foreign exchange market. The fixed exchange rate was prevalent from 1944 to 1971, but most of the countries were following fixed exchange rate. They were keeping their reserves in gold or in dollar. The fixed exchange rate collapsed due to the following reasons. First, there is inflation in USA. Hence, US currency depreciated a lot. 1 ounce of gold was not equivalent to $35. Again, during Vietnam War, US spent a lot, which created inflationary pressure in US economy. Next, major other economies like West Germany, Japan, Switzerland refused to accept the economic cost associated with the pressure of US dollar. They told that we will not follow US dollar and will not peg our currency in relation to US dollar. These are the reasons why there is sharp depreciation in dollar, which results in the collapse of Bretton Woods system. As dollar value depreciates, the Bretton Woods system could not be followed, because the system was that every country tried to fix the exchange rate in relation to gold or in relation to US dollar. Next comes another type of exchange rate, that is post Bretton Woods era. There is floating exchange rate. After Bretton Woods era, after Bretton Woods system of exchange rate follows during from 1971 to now till date, most of the countries shifted from fixed exchange rate to floating exchange rate. Under floating exchange rate, the exchange rate is decided by the market forces. What is market forces? The demand and supply of currency. The demand of supply of any currency determines its exchange rate. That is known as floating exchange rate. So we have shifted from classical gold exchange rate to floating exchange rate. First there was classical gold exchange rate, then a Bretton Woods system comes of fixed exchange rate, then floating exchange rate of exchange rate prevailed during the war. Next we will discuss some other concept that is known as international flow of funds. Friends, we know that COVID-19 pandemic has brought the global economic system to a standstill position. It affects economic activities, it affects international trade, it affects movement of capital, labor, it affects international flow of funds. So the world became standstill during 2020. Once COVID-19 is over, the pandemic, the effect of pandemic is over, the world now try to restore itself. It restores the international trade. Nowadays, the international trade has touched almost $22 trillion because of the growth in different economies which were standstill during COVID-19. And the volume of international trade has increased by 10.5% in 2021. Though there is rebounding of international trade, there are many challenges which we have to follow. What are the challenges? We have to face the challenge of loss of services trade. We have to face the challenge of increasing national debt, which may result in sovereign debt crisis. We are facing challenges of depreciation of major currencies. We are facing challenges of loss of national income due to COVID-19. We are facing challenges of quantitative easing or foreign exchange rate instability. All these things may cause BOP crisis in many countries. So what is BOP crisis? Balance of payment crisis. So today, now we will discuss what is balance of payment and what crisis, how it creates crisis, what is BOP and what are its components, how it leads to crisis. We will discuss all these things one by one. So first we will discuss balance of payment. What is balance of payment? What is BOP of a country? BOP is an accounting statement. BOP is a statement. It summarizes all the economic transactions between the resident of home country and the resident of all other countries. For BOP, the entire world is divided into two parts. One is home country, another is rest of the world. So this is home country, this is rest of the world. BOP records the transactions made between resident of home country with the resident of rest of the world or all other countries. So BOP is a statistical record of a country's economic transactions occurred during a particular period of time. So BOP divides the entire world into two parts. One is home country, another is the rest of the world. It records the transaction which occurred between home country and the rest of the world during a particular calendar year. So BOP is an economic barometer which studies the international transactions of a particular country. So BOP is an economic barometer. Normally, BOP is calculated quarterly or in every calendar year. So quarterly BOP statements are prepared and calendar year BOP statements are prepared. In BOP, there are two types of transactions. What are the two types of transactions? BOP transactions. The BOP transactions can be classified into two parts. One is credit transactions, credit items. Another is debit items. So now we will discuss what is credit items and what is debit items. For a country, credit items are those items which results in inflow of foreign currency. Inflows of foreign currency. Those transactions which results in inflow of foreign currency are credit items. So credit items means inflows. Example, if a country export goods or services, it is a credit item. Export of goods and services. Export of goods and services. It's a credit item. Next, what is a debit item? Any transaction which results in outflow of foreign currency, it's known as debit item. Credit item results in inflow of foreign currency. Debit items results in outflow of foreign currency. Example, import of goods and services. So there are two types of transactions, credit transactions and debit transactions. Credit items results in inflow of foreign currency and debit items results in outflow of foreign currency. If total credit items exceeds greater than total debit items during a particular period, it results in surplus of BOP. What is BOP surplus? BOP surplus occurs when credit items is more than debit items. In vice versa, in the opposite case, if total of credit items is less than total of debit items, it results in deficit of BOP. So in BOP, there can be surplus or there can be deficit. When BOP surplus occurs when credit item is greater than debit item. Suppose credit item is 100 and debit item is 80. So there will be 20 BOP surplus. Suppose credit item is 100, debit item is 110. In that case, there will be 10 BOP deficit. So there can be debit item and credit item. There can be BOP surplus or BOP deficit. The BOP surplus or deficits are categorized in 4 headings. In 4 headings, we classify the inflows and outflows. In each of these headings, there can be surplus or deficit. What are the 4 headings in which BOP statement is divided? One is trade account, another is current account, another is capital account, another is official reserve account or financial account or other account. So there are 4 accounts where the inflows and outflows are classified under BOP. Under BOP, 4 accounts are there: trade account, current account, capital account, and financial or official reserve account. What is trade account? Trade account records the flow of goods goods account is known as trade account. So there can be trade surplus or trade deficit. What is trade surplus and what is trade deficit? Trade surplus occurs with a country where we export more, import less. And trade deficit occurs where we export less, import more. With China, most of the countries are facing trade deficit problem. They export less to China, they import more from China. This is known as trade account. China is having trade surplus with many countries. It is exporting more, importing less. India is facing trade deficit with China. China is facing trade surplus with India. So, trade account records the international flow of goods only. Then what is current account? Current account records international current flow of goods, services, remittances, unilateral transfer. So it records those transactions, those international transactions which are recurring in nature, which occur frequently, the recurring transactions. So trade account is a part of current account. Current account records international trade of goods, services, remittances, unilateral transfer. This is recorded under current account. In current account, we can have current account surplus or current account deficit. Next account is capital account. What is capital account? Capital account records the international transactions related to investments and lending. International investment, international lendings. Investment and lending, it can be made by public or private sector. It records the investments made outside the country and the investment made in the country. Investment made outside the country from the resident of your country and investment made into your country from the resident of rest of the world. So it records international transactions related to international investments and international lending and borrowing. We can have capital account surplus or capital account deficit. We know that in an international transactions, it may result in credit items and debit items. If there will be BOP surplus, we receive more foreign currency than what we pay. In that case, there will be currency surplus, and BOP surplus results in increase in official reserve. Whereas in the other cases, if there will be BOP deficit, it may result in decrease in official reserve. So in financial or official reserve, there can be two things: increase in official reserve or there can be decrease in official reserve. The official reserve are kept in form of gold, in form of SDR and in form of other foreign currency. SDR means special drawing rights. It's the unit of account of IMF. So you can keep your official reserve either in gold or in SDR or in foreign currencies. There can be increase or decrease of official reserve due to BOP surplus or BOP deficit. So in case of BOP, the transactions are recorded in four accounts: trade account, current account, capital account, financial or official reserve account. Trade account is a part of current account. Trade account, current account, capital account may have shown surplus or deficit. And official reserve account may show increase in official reserve or decrease in official reserve. So this is the structure of BOP of a country. You can identify, you can refer the specimen given for BOP of a country, and you can identify all those accounts, current account, capital account, and official reserve. Next, we will discuss a concept called foreign exchange market or forex market. What is forex market? How transactions done in forex market? We will discuss all those things. So what is forex market? What is a fish market? A fish market is a market where different type of fish are bought and sold. So what is forex market? A forex market is a market where foreign currencies are bought and sold, where foreign currency are traded. The foreign exchange market or forex market or currency market is a market where foreign currencies are traded. The foreign currency is required to facilitate international trade and international investment. So forex market helps in international trade or international investment. There are two major markets, segments of forex market. One is spot market, another is forward market. What is spot market? Spot market is a currency market, is that segment of currency market which results in immediate delivery of foreign currency, where currency are traded for immediate delivery, where payment and delivery will take place immediately. That is known as spot market. What is forward market? Where payment and delivery will be made on a future date, but the price will be fixed today. That is known as forward market. Here currency are traded for future delivery. So spot market results in immediate delivery of currency and immediate payment, and forward market results in delivery, future delivery, and the payment will be made on a future date, but the price will be fixed today. That is known as forex market. So what is the need for forex market? We know that in international transactions, the transactions are made in hard currencies. What is hard currencies? Hard currency are internationally accepted currency which are freely convertible. So normally international transaction takes place in 4 or 5 major currencies. The major currencies are US dollar, euro, Japanese yen, Great Britain pound, and Chinese renminbi. These are the major currencies in which international trade takes place, and these are hard currency. What is hard currency? Which are freely convertible. Hard currency. Hard currency are freely convertible. These are freely convertible currency. Freely convertible. What is freely convertible? You can convert any amount of currency. That is known as freely convertible without any restriction. That is known as hard currency. So in foreign exchange market, mostly hard currency are traded. Their value are expressed in soft currency. There can be trading between hard currency, and there can be trading of hard currency and payment will be made in soft currency. And most of the forex market are interbank market. What is interbank market? This is a market where the major players are banks, and it is an OTC market. What is OTC market? Over the counter market. OTC market does not have a physical place, but it exists everywhere and it functions round the clock. and it is available anywhere around the world. That is interbank market, or it is an OTC market. Who are the major players in forex market? The major players in forex market are large commercial banks, individuals, firms, governments, international agencies. They are the major player of currency market. The currency market or forex market has two tier 1 market, tier 2 market. Tier 2 market is a market interbank market where transactions is taking place between banks, interbank market, and tier 1 market is customer and bank related market. So if you go and buy US dollar, we will go and approach the tier 1 market. But tier 2 market is interbank market. It's the wholesale market. And tier 1 is the retail market. It's the wholesale market where banks trade between themselves. And tier 1 market is the retail market for foreign currency. So interbank market over. And next, what are the transactions made in interbank market? Generally, in interbank market, the following type of transaction takes place. Three type of transaction takes place. One is spot transaction, another is forward transaction, another is swap transaction. What is spot transaction? What is forward transaction? What is swap transaction? What is spot transaction? Spot transactions are those transactions which requires immediate delivery of foreign exchange. Immediate delivery. Immediate means T+2 delivery. If you make the contract today, your payment and delivery will be made within 2 days. That is 2+2 settlement. That is value date settlement. Mostly 45% of foreign exchange transactions are made on spot basis, spot transactions. Another is outright forward transaction. What is outright forward transaction? Forward transaction is a transaction where the delivery will be made on a future date, future value date, and the price will be fixed today. The forward dates may be 1 month forward, 2 month forward, 3 month forward, 6 month forward, 12 month forwards. So payment and delivery will be done on a future value date, but the price is fixed today, and it consists of 9% of the entire forex transactions. Another is swap transaction. What is swap transaction? Swap is a string of forward contracts. Many forward contracts combined together consist swap transactions. So it's a forward transactions, but it's a bundle of forward transactions where parties agree to exchange two stream of cash flow between themselves. And this is swap transaction. Swap transaction consists of 46% of foreign exchange transactions. So these are three important transactions in forex market. One is spot transaction, another is forward transaction, another is swap transaction. Next, foreign exchange rates and quotes. What are different forex rates and quotes? Generally, forex rates and quotes are of two types. One is bid rate, another is ask rate. What is bid rate and ask rate? Now, the foreign exchange is deals by forex dealers. Those are authorized dealers. The authorized dealers are banks. Authorized dealers. They are authorized by the central government to deal with forex transactions. They quote two type of rates. One is bid rate, another is ask rate. The bid rate and ask rate is given or quoted by forex dealers. What is bid rate? The rate at which a forex dealer will buy the currency. A dealer will buy currency, that is bid rate. The rate at which the dealer will sell the currency, that is known as ask rate. The difference between bid rate and ask rate is known as spread, or this is the margin of the forex dealer. So every time bid rate is less than ask rate, and the difference is spread or margin. This is enjoyed by forex dealer or authorized dealers or banks. Next, foreign exchange derivative market. We have discussed that forex market has two segments. One is spot segment, another is derivative segment. What is spot segment? In spot segment, transactions and settlement done simultaneously and immediately on 2+2 basis. But in derivative segment, the transactions are settled on a future date. That is known as derivative market. So in currency derivatives, there are four types of derivatives. One is forward contract, another is futures contract, another is options contract, another is swaps contract. What is forward contract? We have already discussed a forward contract. What is a forward contract? Forward contract is a contract where term and conditions of the contract are decided today and payment and delivery will be made on a future date. That is known as forward contract. These forward contracts are OTC contract. If the forward contract is standardized and bought and sold in a market which is known as exchange traded, the standardized exchange traded forward contract are future contract. So what is the major point of difference between forward and future contract? All futures contract are forward contract, but all forward contracts are not futures contract. Only those forward contracts which are standardized and exchange traded are futures contract. And what is an options contract? In an options contract, in a forward contract, both the parties are bounded by the contract. But in an option contract, one party is bounded by the contract, another party is not bounded by the contract. Option means choice. It's a right, not an obligation. The option contract may be of two types. One is call option and put option. The call option contract gives one right to buy, and the put option contract gives one a right to sell. This is option contract. Then there is swap contract. What is swap? Swap is a bundle of forward contract put in one contract. That is known as swap contract. It is a string of forward contracts. It is a agreement where parties agree to exchange stream of cash flow over a period of time for future. This is known as swap contract. Next, we are discussing regarding exchange rate risk management strategy. We know that in flexible exchange rate, the exchange rate fluctuates a lot. With the fluctuation of exchange rate, the income of the firms also change, and this is known as exchange rate risk. Volatility of exchange rate brings exchange rate risk, and this exchange rate risk must be hedged or must be managed. So there are four strategies for managing exchange rate risk. One is high risk, high reward strategy. Another is high risk, reasonable reward strategy. Another is low risk, low reward strategy. Another is high risk, low reward strategy. One can adopt any of this strategy to manage or hedge currency risk or hedge forex risk. Forex risk or currency risk. Fourth strategy. The hedging strategy may be of three types. One is known as full hedging. Another is known as selective hedging. Another is known as casual hedging. There are three approaches of forex hedging. One is full hedging, selective hedging, casual hedging. What is full hedging? Full hedging means covering the entire exposure. If you hedge your total currency exposure, that is known as full hedging strategy. The hedging strategy are divided into three categories. Full hedging, total hedging of your currency risk is known as full hedging. What is selective hedging? You hedge some risk, you do not hedge some risk. That is known as selective hedging. What is casual hedging? You sometimes hedge, you sometimes do not hedge. There is no rule for hedging. That is casual approach to hedging. Companies normally follows three type of hedging strategy for managing currency risk: full hedging, selective hedging, and casual hedging. Next, we will discuss one concept that is known as foreign investment. What is foreign investment? Foreign investment simply means investment by the person of foreign origin into your country. For investments coming out of the political boundary of your country is known as foreign investment. Foreign investment may be of two types. One is foreign direct investment, which is known as FDI. Another is foreign portfolio investment, which is known as FPI. So there are two types of foreign investment. One is FDI, another is FPI. Foreign direct and foreign portfolio investment. Foreign direct investments are in form of physical assets, and foreign portfolio investments are normally in form of financial assets. Foreign direct investment, the intention of investor is to take control and management of investment. If an investor comes with an outlook of controlling or managing the company where it puts its money, it's known as foreign direct investment. If the investor's intention is not to take control but to make short-term financial gain, it is known as foreign portfolio investment. In foreign direct investments, these are long-term investments, long-term money, and these are short-term money. Therefore, foreign portfolio investments are known as hot money. In FDI, capital flight is not easy, but in FPI, the capital flight is easy. The FDI may be in different form. It may be in greenfield investments, it may be in brownfield investments, it may be in form of joint venture, it may be in form of acquisitions. But foreign portfolio investments may come from FIH, it may come in form of FDRs, foreign depository receipts like GDR, ADR, global depository receipts, American depository receipts, or it can be in form of FCCB, foreign currency convertible bonds. It can be in form of FCCB, foreign currency convertible bonds. So we are discussing regarding foreign investments. What are the merits of foreign direct investments? The foreign direct investments brings capital, it improves BOP position, it builds economic and social infrastructure in the host country, it fosters economic linkages, it strengthens government budget. These are some of the merits of foreign direct investment. And last, we will discuss international terms of payments. What is international term of payments? What is international term of payment? And what does it mean? Generally, international term of payment simply means what are the different modes of payment of international trade. In how international trade, in case of international trade, how the payment is made. The payment is made in four forms. One is known as payment in advance. What is payment in advance? It is a form of payment where exporter claim advance from importer. It is the safest mode of payment. Exporter realize the payment in advance from an importer before delivery of the goods. So payment in advance method is very suitable for exporter, but it is very risky for importer. So first method is payment in advance method, where the importer pays the total amount in advance, then exporter deliver the goods. That is known as payment in advance method. Second method is open account method. It is just the opposite of payment of advance. Open account is most risky payment for exporter and most safe from importer. It is opposite of payment in advance. Under this method, exporter send the goods, send the document of title to the goods, and once the goods and documents are received by the importer, he makes payment. So this is known as open account. So there are two methods: payment of advance method, open account method. And third one is that is known as documentary collection method. The document, there are two cases: goods and document title to the goods. Let's take an example. Suppose you sell some packets, and you sell suppose furnitures. What you do? You load the furniture in a railway and you send the railway receipt to the person who buy the goods. And this railway receipt is document of title to the goods. The documentary collection methods is of two types. One is DP method, document against payment method. Another is DA method, document against acceptance method. In this case, the exporter send the goods, and once it received the payment, it release the document of title to the goods to the importer. Document against acceptance means, in this case, the once the exporter send the goods, and once the importer accept the bills of exchange or draft of the exporter, then the document of title to the goods are sent to the importer, and this is known as documentary collection of goods. So there are three methods. One is advance method, you pay the advance. Another is open method, you do not receive anything, you send the goods, then you receive. First here you may receive payment, send goods. Open method, you send the goods, then receive payment. Then documentary collection goods. What is documentary collection? This can be of two types. One is DP, another is DA, document against payment, document against acceptance. And the last and mostly used method of payment is LC method. What is LC method? LC method is known as letter of credit method. So in case of LC method, you make payment using banks. You make intermediary for banks for settling the payments. That is known as LC method. In this case, bank gives guarantee that if the exporter does not receive payment, bank will make payment. That is known as LC method. The LC may be of different type: irrevocable LC, slide draft LC, and many other type of LC like revolving LC, back to back LC. Time draft LC, red clause LC. Next one is standby or special LC, transferable LC. So these are different types of LC. So in today's class, we have discussed regarding global financial management. We have discussed different financial institutions. We have discussed how to manage exchange rate risk. We have discussed different modes of payments like payment in advance, open account, document against payment, document against acceptance, and LC. So these are the keywords related to our class today, and these are the self-assessment question, and these are the reference for further reading on international finance. Thank you for attending my class. Thank you all. Thank you.